Well, we all know this very Saturday, that is the 12th of March 2014, is the Congress to elect the national executives of the new Patriotic Party. Already a team from Joynews has been sent there. Emmanuel is leading the team and he's online. A very good morning to you, Emmanuel. Now, significantly, what can you tell us about the atmosphere in Tamale? And so far, what have been some of those comments or responses from those executives of the MPP that you've spoken to in the region?
Well, Roland, good morning, and good morning to all our viewers. I can tell you that the people here are very fired up. They are geared up towards the upcoming Congress. One significant thing we've been seeing is that we see a lot of Polacoco's posters around. It seems to be dominant over the rest of the candidates. That's one of the things we've seen so far. And then Collins' team, we've also seen his a little bit more, and then the others. But generally, the atmosphere here is very calm, and people seem to be very geared up towards the upcoming elections, and they are saying that they want to leave a mark here so that it will be in the history of the NPP that when the Congress was held here in Tamale, it was one of the most successful in the history of the party's election so far. So the people here are very much happy, and they are very much looking forward to what is about to happen in some few days' time to come. Roland.
Well, presumably, we all know this is not a nationwide election. It is only a party election, so you don't expect all the hula baloo about the elections and the atmosphere that usually characterizes them. What is the level of response from the various delegates in the township itself, that is Tamale, and do you think that you've seen signs that they've been campaigning within the area?
Yes, the information, so far we've not seen any of the delegates here yet, but we've seen some pockets of some of their members, some of the people from the camps of some of the members of the various candidates. But the information we have gathered, I have gathered so far, indicates that people are campaigning in the grassroots. They are campaigning secretly with the people. They are going straight to the people instead of going around radio stations and doing their adverts and all that. They are going down to the grassroots to get the votes from the people, not on the radio. Some believe that one of the things that I have also noticed here is that Jagbele is also seen to be very popular here among the people we've spoken to. Jagbele is contesting for the National Youth Organizer position. It seems to be because some of the people we've spoken to are very much, I think, impressed with what he can do and what he has done, because they believe that he's one of the people who goes down, deep down to the roots of the people. So the people are doing their campaigns all right. They are doing it individually from door to door. That sort of campaign strategy. That's what they are all adopting, Roland.
Well, but
I also have with me here the national chairman of the regional chairman of the NPP, the northern regional chairman of the NPP, Daniel Buki Nabu. We will also be speaking with him so that we get what is happening since the inception of the NPP in the northern region, and then what has transpired so far, and then what they are looking forward to in the coming election.
Well, just speak to him, then I'll ask you a couple of questions before we wrap up then.
Okay, Roland. Well, now I have to of the same time, you see a lot more people feel that in this very stadium are waiting the results of or having to take their elections, conduct their elections for the national executive, which is less the members that will lead the party in the 2016 election. And just that Daniel Buki, the regional chairman, when you work up to the but I really demand a duty of the work outside with the exception of the NPP back in the government. Because we all know that it has always been the stronghold of the NPP. How have you thought about the Okay, Roland.
Well, now I have with me here Daniel Bugri, the regional chairman of the NPP. In a few days' time, you will see a lot more people filled up in this very stadium, awaiting the results of or coming to take their election, conduct their elections for the national executives, which will elect the members that will lead the party in the 2016 elections. Dr. Daniel Bugri Nabu, the regional chairman, well, you're welcome to Joynews, please.
Thank you.
Right. Now, can you give us a brief history of the NPP in the northern region? What has transpired since the inception of the NPP party in the northern region? Even though we all know that it has always been the stronghold of the NDC, how have you managed to survive the party so far?
Yeah.
Wow.
As you know, the NPP originally from the north. If you can remember, Getokalio, Dombo, J. Bremer, Araji Tuluna Yakubu Tali, and others. Actually, the NPP now is coming home. That is the right direction now I have seen for bringing the Congress to the north. That means they are tracing their route. And for that matter, everybody in the northern region is very, very happy, and they are welcoming the delegate conference in Tamale National Stadium. And I believe that they are going to elect people who are capable to look and take care of the party. Yes, NDC may be the stronghold here. We don't deny that. But I can assure you that coming 2016 election, I think that we will take 80% of the people, and maybe the other 20% can share with other political parties. So for that one, we are assuring you.
Right. Now, what has been your weapon in sustaining the party from that time to today? We all know that it's not been easy. There have been many challenges with the party, especially in this part of the country. What has really sustained you, the party, to this time?
Well, already the party was already sustained from this northern part of the country. But I know NDC with their propaganda and lies, which we cannot lie like the way they do, and that might have caused it. But now that this new team which has come to this office in the northern region, there will be a big change. I can assure you that.
Right. Now, let's come to the real issues. What do you think, in your opinion, informed the decision of the party or of the executive to come and hold the national delegates conference here? Because we know there were some other places that were being considered. Would you say that the history of the party or the memorial lecture of Dr. Ali Muhammad has also been a factor in the decision as to where the party, the delegates congress is being held?
You will agree, or if you don't know, I want to tell you that the MPP has gone around all the regions, including Volta region, for their delegate conference. And looking at this, when we took the decision for bringing the delegate to the north, we stable in motion that, look here, you've done all the region, you haven't come to northern region. And actually northern region is the party grassroots, where the party was initially informed. So we think that they should consider this time to come to the northern region. And actually everybody saw the opinion that we put up, and they finally agreed that they would trace their route back to the north. So that was why they agreed.
Right. Now, what do you intend doing? Because somebody will say, because of the instability around, it will be difficult to hold this year. But the party stood its grounds, the executive stood its grounds, and allowed the elections to be held here. What is the legacy you would want to leave in terms of the organization of the party elections? Would you want to leave?
Well, we're happy when they agree that we should bring the party conference to the north. So what we are going to do is to ensure that the three northern regions, since the party itself has got to know that they are tracing their route back to the north must deliver very well for the party.
Now, let's come to the preparations towards the elections. What have you done as a party, a representative of the party in the northern part? What have you done to ensure that this election goes on successfully?
Well, I would say that the security, there's no problem about the security. We keep in touch with the security agents, and they are cooperating with us. We put 1,200 policemen in the ground. An army, a contingent of army has also been located to the ground. So we don't have fears about any security threat. And moreover, there's no security threat. After all, every country, every region, people die, people do criminal work, and they arrest them. So when they arrest, they shouldn't associate this to the delegate conference that people will say that there is threat. No, there's no threat at all. And we are assuring them that they will come and host the delegate conference peacefully, and we go back to their various region peacefully. That one I can assure you.
All right. Now, what are you ready, especially when it comes to logistics, for everything that is going to be done here? You will need logistics to hold these things. Is the party ready in providing all these things to ensure that there is a smooth transition?
The party has already provided all the necessary logistics we need for the conference, and more will come. And in fact, from Thursday going, you see that all the big halls in the party will all be in town. So we are not going to short anything at all. And the green fowl and cheese Tonsafi is also there, you know. And Lavoko and Puna are there. Everybody will eat what they want, and then the Pitoto is also standby to support.
It means food is no problem.
At all.
How about accommodation?
Accommodation, no problem. No problem. Our delegates are already set, and the accommodation is ready. As I'm talking now, we can even host 10,000 delegates, not 5,200 at all.
Now, how about transportation-wise? Is there enough vehicles or enough transportation provided to to make the movement of the people or the executive or those that are supposed to come here to make their movements a bit easier?
Yeah, we don't have problem with transport. Transport is already in place. Before we form a transport committee, and they've taken care of the transport. Everything is set. We are waiting patiently for Saturday, and everything will be on board.
Well, you've been listening to Daniel Bugri Nabu, who is the regional chairman of the NPP in the northern region. He will still tell us more about what the party is doing in terms of organization for this particular program. In a few days, probably about 6 days and some hours time, you see this big stadium filled up with a lot of more people to come to elect their national delegates, their national executive. A lot more has been done, and there seems to be a lot more being done. We'll also be speaking to the stadium manager to tell us about the security situation, what they have done so far, what they are putting in place to ensure that everything goes on smoothly without any problem at all. We have also been talking to him off camera yesterday when we came here, and he's assuring us of maximum security in the area. And so if you can hear me, Roland, if you have any more questions, you can give it to me, or you can ask me so that we'll relay it to Dr. Nabu. to Daniel Nabu.
Or the gentleman who is leading the team from Joynews that is now invading the metropolis of Tamale to bring you all the best pictures as far as the preparations are concerned for the MPP's National Delegates Congress to be held or convened on Saturday, the 12th of March 2014. And again, I tell you, during the greater part of today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the team is going to speak to those news leaders, the heads of the various party areas or institutions in various regions who will be making their way there, and even those neutrals who also have been invited, yes, to come and witness as far as the events are concerned for the Congress that will take place on Saturday. We're trying as much as possible to give you the latest update on what the conflict situation is following the significant recording of fatalities in those clashes between Bimobes as well as Kokumbes in that part of the northern part of Ghana. And already the district chief executive of East Mamprusi, Adam Imoro, has told the news team that the Mamprusis went to burn a Bimoba community. In the process, 2 people were killed and 1 other person has so far been injured. We're taking a short break. When we come back, we will be speaking on a lot more issues on the AM show. So let's do the discussions on the other subjects we've been looking at, and of course we've always been doing AM talk, right? And we just do a continuation. We have as our guest for the morning Saka Salia. He's a member of the MPP's communication team. Will you be going to Tamale? A very good morning to you.
Good morning. Yeah, of course we are going to Tamale. Yes.
How many delegates are you having for this very Congress?
We are having close to 140,000 delegates. Yes.
And they will be voting in the whole process?
Yes, they will be voting in the whole process.
That's a long night.
So each constituency we have 16 executives that will be voting. Then we will have founding members. We have the elders of the constituency, the various constituencies. Then the parliamentarians, and then the overseas branches. They will constitute the electoral college for the Congress.
As a member of the party, so far, are you satisfied with the preparations that have been put in place to make sure that the event comes out smoothly on Saturday?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that hitherto the party actually thought we could have done it in a decentralized, Congress, and then majority of people, actually spoke against it, and the party had to succumb to a centralized Congress. So to that, extent, I'm happy that the process leading to the Congress seemed to be straight and smooth. However, I think that last week there was some development, and those developments, do not go down well with a lot of people. For instance, you have candidates who will be at the Congress ground but will not get the opportunity to talk to the delegates. You cannot imagine a Congress without talk. It means that when it is so, the higher bidder will take, because once you will not get the opportunity to bring out your policies.
Is that what they said, or is it not the practice? And I know
the practice.
Okay, is it not the practice that you go to the Congress, you don't have any other speeches apart from those 10 minutes or perhaps even 15 minutes they'll give to each of the candidates contesting to speak?
that is the 10 minutes that I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm not even talking about 10 minutes.
You mean even that will not be given to anybody?
Even 1 minute for the candidates to mount the podium, to canvass votes, to even introduce themselves to the electorate.
Are you sure that's what's going to take place?
I'm telling you, because NEC had meeting with the electoral committee. Those in charge of the elections, and that was the decision that they came out with. This is a very unpopular decision, and I think that if it is so, it's as if there is some prognosis of orchestrated or, as it were, a fixed election for those who have the money, the highest bidder. Because once you cannot talk, your money can talk for you. Because there are competent people all over. I mean, if you look at the contestants, about 44 of them. Even if you give each person 2 minutes, it will not be more than 1 hour. A whole Congress, a whole 24 hour dedicated for a Congress, and you can't dedicate 2 minutes to actually know whether somebody is good or not. Because that is a test case for the candidates. And then you say that nobody should talk. Meanwhile, there are other candidates that will talk by dint of the fact that they are incumbent. For instance, the national chairman will have to talk. We have to give accounts of his stewardship. And that is talking. So in that same vein, you give opportunity for other contestants, at least. So
you think that it will give some preferential advantage to some other individuals just because they hold currently national positions?
Exactly so, but more so, it gives advantage to more or less, I mean, relative incompetent people who cannot, you know, who do not have better policy, good policies, but have good money. So that once your opponent, who is very vibrant, who is very articulate, who has the policies that can lead us to victory 2016, cannot get the opportunity to talk, let me use my money and let my money talk and all that.
Okay. So far, Saka, have you been satisfied with the level of campaigning I mean, just within the party? Particularly when we've had concerns being raised about how some of those candidates or some of the candidates contesting have used the media to perhaps not speak well of the other opponents who are within the same bracket in which your position.
To a large extent, the campaigning leading to the D-Day, the 12th of April, has been very, you know, decent. There's a lot of decorum in the campaigning. However, if you look at the General Secretary position, for instance, and to some extent, 1 or 2 youth organizer position, I mean, we have problems. And that, I mean, calls for concern a lot. Because if you have the incumbent General Secretary, I mean, exchanging vitriolics with his opponents, Japan, I mean, the various, you know, supporters, exchanging unpalatable language. It leaves much to be desired. And recently, I mean, 2 or 3 days ago, we had Yaboabe Asamoah and then Sir John's campaign team too. I mean, there's a lot of political shenanigans where people want to undo others. So they come out with vile propaganda, they come out with unverifiable fallacies, just that they can mar the credibility of the other opponent. I think that has not gone sink down well with some of us. I think that that position is the second most important position apart from the chairmanship position. You can even say the most important position, because the General Secretary position, the General Secretary is the one that run the day-to-day activities of the party. So if you have people, you know, exchanging ways in such manner, it overshadow all the good language or the good campaigns that the others have engaged in. I think that is very bad. That is the aspect that must be, you know, reprimanded, especially coming from, you know, a well-renowned politicians of that nature. In any intelligent political, you know, you have 1 or 2. But where it has degenerated, I think that even after the election, it will create some scar, which will be very difficult to actually heal and all that.
It is critical that the event is peaceful. I think over the weekend we heard all these stories about how reservedly it's been alleged that NDC and his official are planning to mark Tamale conference, the conference with instigated violence, etc. I mean, some of these stories are just allegations and not been verified, and they've been put out there. Do you think you're being fair to the NDC as well?
I mean, you see, you cannot run away from certain things. Really, we are dealing with an opponent that think of the next election and not the next generation, to quote Nana Akufo-Addo. And to them, I mean, everything goes. They are full of political tinkering. They will do almost everything to ensure that their opponent is painted in iniquitous manner, in a manner that will not be palatable for people at the political market. The NDC, as you know them, I mean, I am not, you see, I don't want to give credence to the story, but yes, I'm saying that
that's what
the
I'm
possibility,
yes,
I'm saying that looking at the opponent that we are dealing with, they have that penchant of doing
is it that it is perceived, because so far the story, for example, doesn't give any indication. It's just speculation and doesn't give any indication of any evidence so far.
No, that's what I'm saying. You see, if we are dealing with an opponent, like I said, the NDC, anything is possible. We have also gathered from our own, you know, intelligence sources that these people are planning something in the pipeline of this nature. Right. So I mean, for us, we have made our point clear, and then we don't want to give chances. We've decided that once we know our opponent, we know their stocking trade, we will guard against all these things. We'll put mechanisms in place to ensure that when they bring it, we'll be able to counter it. And that is the most important thing. No, if any NDC person turned the grounds to foment trouble, I think that the person will be sorry. Because we have seen it, I mean, in so many other areas, where even at the Supreme Court, where NDC people actually wear MPP paraphernalia and come there to cause mayhem and all that. So I think that the story as it is, even though the author of the story has not come up with the evidence, by evidence of the history of our opponents, we know they are capable of doing such a thing. Okay.
Again, still no evidence provided so far to the effect.
No, there is evidence.
But we're giving you a lot more updates and just making sure that we give you what the stories are in a run-up to that very National Delegates Congress of the NPP to be convened in the Tamale Sports Stadium just this very Saturday, the 12th of April 2014. Emmanuel Ante is leading the team there, and we have him on the line. And then we'll want to speak to him. Emmanuel, are you on the line? Emmanuel, are you on the line? Well, we don't seem to have...
Hello.
Hello? Do we have Emmanuel Ante on the line? Well, we don't seem to have Emmanuel Ante on the line. Now, we know that there's been an outbreak of Ebola across the West African sub-region, but just over the weekend, we're being told that there is a suspected case at the Konfano Teaching Hospital, and we're being told also that officials of the Noguchi Research Institute on the campus of the University of Ghana, they've taken samples to test to ascertain whether really whatever they are getting in terms of what the test results are, it has any link at all to Ebola. We have the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Ebenezer Appiah-Dintra, on the line. A very good morning to you, Dr. Ebenezer Appiah-Dintra. What we're getting from the news wires, is it true? And how far is Noguchi going on with its current test to make sure whether it has any link to Ebola virus?
Yeah, the samples have been taken from Konfano to Noguchi, so they'll be working on it. They'll be working on it over the weekend and this morning as well. So this morning we'll try to get a report from them. So yeah, actually we can take some time to get do the test.
We know that it's a very sticky situation, especially when there is an epidemic like this, and significantly countries along the sub-region will have to be warned, and there are public health officials on the alert. How do you make sure that cases perhaps that are relating or related to the symptoms are not construed or misconstrued to be the significant cases as there are?
Yeah, that is the reason why we're making The minister will be making a press release this morning because we have to get the things facts right. So after the necessary preparations, informing our health workers at the field, and then sensitizing them, trying to draw the plans, getting the budgets and everything ready, we feel that it's now time for her to now make a statement because of the surrounding countries, infection in the surrounding countries.
The WHO in its health manual for countries that usually record such epidemics are told that significantly border areas and communities or the township that tend to see a lot more migration of people from one area to the other, a lot more usually are put on the high alert. How far did we go with this very subject in those townships that we have identified as such?
Yes, we've alerted the regional director, sent them text messages, we brought them together, we've gone through the Ebola, and we identified the towns right from Aflawo, Kita, we come to Ho, Hohoi, Rachi, then come to Boku, Nabrongo, Bolu, Hamile, along the lines to Bole, the Chiman area, come to Wechi, Bibiani, Papa, Lubo. It's all along the borderlines. We've informed our people, and they're bringing the health team together to take them through, and then also the people at the borders, the chefs people, those people. Today we'll be moving to the aviation. We've talked to the KIA, Kotoka International Airport, and there's going to also be sensitization there. We talked to the clinic, and they are aware. WHO stepping the sprint, the what they call leaflets and the posters all over the place. But just to ensure that people are actually aware, and then the community members, they will link up with the traditional leaders and make sure that they are aware. Not necessary to create panic, but just make sure that they are aware.
Again, can you take us through the symptoms and just follow up on that? How can that easily be misconstrued to be taken as another case, perhaps which is necessarily is not Ebola?
Yeah, it will present like malaria. You know, you have fever, and people come with headache, they have with muscle pain, they are vomiting and diarrhea. So it's at the later stage that you have this bleeding tendencies, where you have the bleeding from the nose and come, and then into the stomach. So it basically, you can easily say it's malaria or typhoid, or it can move forward. So those say CSM, or it's some hepatitis, or I mean those kind of stuff. That is why the confirmation actually at the lab is the most important one.
And apart
so
from
any form of bleed, any form of fever with bleeding, we say that suspect, and that's why Confirmation and hospitals will bring in samples very soon.
If we have one suspected case, so to speak, and it's confirmed, usually in a public health situation, what does it mean? Is that an epidemic or what?
It's potential, because you may not, if you see one, there may be some other people in the community as well. And that is why straight away then we have to identify all the contacts, those who have come into contact the person, the hospital, the team, and then they will put them aside and then start watching them closely and make sure they don't mingle too much. So you could as well say that because it's a dangerous disease, and one is very significant.
Is a vaccine for it?
No, not yet.
So what happens then?
Oh, we just give you fleas, try to treat you symptomatically. Some recover, because everything depends on your immunity. If the immunity is high, well fed, then you give you blood. If you lose blood, vitamins, if you lose them, then you survive.
If you tend to read about the epidemiology of Ebola, you get to have the feeling that perhaps it's become more of a headache for the medical community and the researchers to really pinpoint what really the causatives are and how it needs to be treated.
It's not only Ebola. HIV has been around for some time. We've not been able to find there are a lot of things the medics have not been able to find out. And that calls for constant research, putting a lot of money in research, especially in Africa, where there are so many of them. There's a fever, we have H1N1, we have so many things. And then some of the animals we are seeing with all of them are potential source of careers. So there's a lot of research funding has to go into research so that we're able to unravel this mystery.
And if it turns out that it's not the case, then what happens? You just continue your sensitization activities, right?
Yes. Well, and I will also continue to do that.
Are there some fears within your quarters? I mean, the Ghana Health Service, that supposedly could be it?
Oh, well, we are not hopeful because quite a number of cases present that way. And it's because Ebola is on the scene, that's why we're testing for it. Otherwise, some of these things under normal circumstances will go unnoticed. So we are hopeful that it might not be, but once it is, it puts us on the alert. And every case we have to see and then strengthen our surveillance system.
For you public health experts, do you think that the media then needs to be more circumspect so that we don't create a certain panic situation among the population?
Precisely, precisely. So we'll have a session with the media and then tell you thoroughly what the Ebola is about, another hemorrhagic disease, but then we'll also tell you that in Africa, where we stay, we have a lot of diseases with that kind of signs and symptoms. If we don't careful, a time will come, even your own brother will have fever and you still I'm isolating you. You don't want to get that care. So the media, please let us always confirm before you take the message at all.
You're talking about a media encounter. If I remember vividly, it's been days since the supposed report from Guinea and the other countries in West Africa. Why haven't you engaged the media so far? We know that, of course, you talk to the media as and when they call you, etc., but not on a very formal basis.
We do a plan. According to the plan, the minister has to make a release. He's going to do today, the press release, and then after that, then we take it up. All the minister is going to say is supposed to define the line of action. It's supposed to define the signs and symptoms that everybody will be carrying around. It's supposed to define where to move into the logistics support and which areas you want to move. And that is why we're waiting for her to come. I mean, after we got all the preparations and then put the necessary teams around, our team included the military, included the people from the research institutions, included the economic communication experts, that include WHO, Ghana Health Minister, borders, those at the border. So we assembled all of them. Actually, they will just call them to work out the details. And we have the researchers who have been working on the bus itself to give us a presentation and look at the type of bus we can and so forth. So
well,
now, we are now set for the minister now to come out.
Okay, so when do we call you again to get the test results from Noguchi?
Well, let's see, after the release of the minister, we'll know what's next.
The way you say it makes it sound bureaucratic, because the minister was supposed to do the release first before you did the media encounter, and once the release has not come, the media encounter also has not happened.
No, it will come. After the media, it will very soon.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for speaking to us this morning. We're very much grateful. You're always on hand to make all those contributions when we tend to make the inquiries. And Dr. Ebenezer Apiadintra is the Director General for the Ghana Health Service, telling us about what so far has been done following that very suspected fatality though, but again related to Ebola virus, following those symptoms that have been recorded by the public health officials of the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital. And so far, we're being told that experts from Ghana's leading medical research, Noguchi, on the campus of the University of Ghana have taken those samples to their laboratories. They are making those tests, and when those results are available, there will be some communication from the Ghana Health Service to us. And we'll also be giving you a lot more updates on the subject. But in the meantime, though, let's continue with our contributions on the subject of the MPP's Congress that it is going to convene in Tamale. And Saka, you are telling us about perhaps reservedly how the NDC also could foment trouble. But then those are just allegations and those are just speculations. But on the substantive in itself, what would you want to see on Saturday before we take a wrap on the subject? Yeah,
I mean, we want Saturday Congress to be a very successful one. I mean, this is the first time we are hosting, Tamale is hosting such an event. For that matter, everything possible must be made to ensure that it's successful. Because as it's the way, I mean, because of people's notion that Tamale is no go area, the place is not safe and all that. I mean, we want to let people understand that, I mean, the North is as safe as any other place in this country. And secondly, I wish that even though the party has decided that they won't be talked, such a decision must be changed. In fact, Richard Nyama, who is also contested for the youth organizer position, is holding a press conference this morning.
Over what?
On some of these things. And the fact that the party seems to be, you know, going in a direction where the highest bidder, you know, takes everything and all that. And to some extent, how people who have died for the party has been incarcerated in other areas of the country, that the party itself has not taken, you know, seriousness in the case, especially in Tamale, where we have our youth who are, you know, fought hard for this political party, and who unfortunately has been incarcerated in other, some of them even, you know, languishing in jail on death rows and all that.
But those are,
and the party
but those are police cases, right? There have been thorough investigations. I remember vividly about a recent killing and
there's extrajudicial, you know, repression on a lot of them.
Really?
Yeah, some of them have not been taken to court, just been arrested in a manner that...
Is that no more got to do with the way our judicial system operates than any untoward behavior?
The party needs to be serious about it. The party needs to know that these are the heroes of the North. These are guys who without any financial inducement, is holding the party high in the North. And if they are in trouble, what we do, the least we'll do, is to just leave them. I mean,
how significant is for you that Tamale has been chosen to be the venue?
So significant, both, you know, in reality and even in symbolic terms. I mean, this is the area, this is enough, more or less, that people have the impression, I mean, the wrong notion that the party is not for the Northerners and all that. So once we go there to tell everybody that, I mean, the MPP is for, I mean, indeed, MPP actually originated for the Northern People's Party, and this is going to the roots of the party, and it will be a home, you know, coming event for the people of the North, for them to know that yes, our political party that we have served over the years, that our forebears, the Dombos, have served, have created, is now coming home. And indeed, it's also to us as well, I mean, also bring memories of Alhaji Aliu Mama, you know, to commemorate his passings and all that, just to let people know that the MPP, as it is today, is for the Northerners, and anybody with that notion that the MPP is a political party for the accounts is just neither here nor there. That is another reason. And there are so many other reasons, so many other factors.
Okay, before we let you go though, which other events significantly that has so far happened or predated this very Congress that perhaps you as a young person in the party feels very not too good about, you feel perhaps also gives undue advantage to certain people?
I don't get a question.
Okay. Which other events have happened in the course of this very year until now, so to speak, that you will perceive perhaps is preempting or is giving some level of advantage to people who are also contesting in the election? Apart from what you mentioned.
Apart from what I mentioned, that the people should not talk and all that. We have people actually presenting a list. People presenting a list that, okay, these are the candidates and all that. And the chosen one, those in the loop of favoritism. So go for them. Whether they are competent or they are not. No, you see, the delegates are discerning people. And that is even the more reason why the point of addressing the people must be made emphatically clear. That the people that has been endorsed, that has been chosen, have we heard them speak? They should, you see, once you mount the podium, once you mount there, your leadership skills, your ability to inspire people will come out.
So you want the 10 minutes to be given?
Not just 10 minutes. Just, you should give. There are about 44 or so contestants.
So you can't give.
So if you give even 2 minutes to each person to just come and say, I am this, I want to contest for this position, that one alone is enough. Than to say that nobody should talk. We should a litany of what meaningless gestures. If we even want to talk, just.
Where you come from? I mean, not your home country. I mean, yes. From where your ideology is coming from, where you are perceiving your ideas from, all these within the party. Do you think that, reservedly, there is some level of factionalism within your party, and so is breeding some of these things?
Some of what? Some of
these indifferences that you seem to be experiencing.
No. I do not belong to any. I mean, everybody knows me. I do not belong to any function within this political party. My loyalty is to the party.
I'm asking you, do you think there is a faction in there?
Yeah, I mean, they seem to be.
There are blocks.
They seem to be
blocks.
But you see, they seem to be blocks. But those blocks, I think that it's becoming more or less even insignificant these days.
Okay.
Because of the overwhelming support base of Nanado.
Okay, let me ask you, who is your person for the chairmanship? Are you supporting? Are you rooting for anybody at all?
I'm the campaign manager for Richard Nyama.
Right.
Yes, the youth organizer in waiting. But the chairmanship, I think that I don't want to disclose here. But I have 2 favorites.
Okay, name them.
And Fred Oware is one of them.
And then the second one is?
The second one is Paula Foko.
Paula Foko.
Yes.
Okay.
These 2, anybody who wins,
General
I think
Secretary.
I'm okay.
Because I want to mention the same.
The General Secretary, I mean, Kognaji Japan. I mean, that.
Japan.
And then
okay, then the women's organizer. That's who I want to look. Otiko Jagba. You want her to retain her position.
Yes.
Okay. Now, as we wrap up, what would you tell people of your ilk? I mean, your kind, your contemporaries, young people within the party. How would you want them to comport themselves at the Congress grounds?
Yeah, I mean, the NPP is known for its
peaceful
nature. We are a very peaceful political party. That does not mean that when you misbehave, we allow you to, with the law, we are law-abiding citizens. And it permeates, I mean, from the top to the down. Hardly will you see NPP, young, politicians or supporters misbehaving. We are not. You see, that is the reason why, if you look at the political, permutations of this country, I mean, and then you do a very good analysis. The NPP seem to be doing well in, not even seem, normally does well in the urban areas because of
the party of the elite.
Not the elite, the party of the
discerning. No, you're telling us in urban areas we have people who do white-collar jobs, etc.
No, not elite, not elite. I mean, we have a lot of people in the urban areas who are not elite.
Who are grassroots people.
Who are grassroots people.
Okay, I get your position. When will you be going to Tamale?
I will be leaving tomorrow.
Okay.
I will be leaving tomorrow to Tamale.
Okay. You are going by road?
No.
You take a flight?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, because we are going to put finishing touches to our campaign. And then from there, then we will see what happens. Okay,
thank you very much. Thanks for joining us for AM Talk this morning and helping us with the discussions. And Saka Salia is a member of the MPP's communication team. Currently, he's just revealed on the show, he's a campaign manager for one of the contestants for the National Youth Organizer position. Richard Nyama. It's a very good morning to you, my good friend. Richard Nyama. I wish you all the best in your contest to be the National Youth Organizer of the MPP. So that'll be it for the talk. Next, we'll bring you My Community, but I have to read an intro to you. But let's take a short break. When we come back, I'll give you comprehensively where we're going next in My Community.